Hey friends, Ellie Mae here, your favorite financial coach with another thought-provoking message or title. If you don't know me, you can find me across all social media as Ellie Mae Johnson. And today we're going to talk about the top 3 benefits of paying yourself first. But before we dive in, let me give you the definition of paying yourself first. Well, paying yourself first means to see your savings, see your savings or whatever account that you have for yourself to plan for the future as a mandatory bill. Just like we must pay our light bill, our rent, our car payment, credit cards, all of those are must. Unless you want to get in trouble with whatever company, right? So then your savings account has to be on the same list as those other bills, right? So it's a mandatory thing to do on a monthly basis, or if you want to do it bi-weekly or every paycheck, so that you don't get in trouble in the future. Your future self is going to thank you so much. Your future self is going to say, I'm so happy. Let me put down the glare a little bit. Your future self is going to be so happy when you get there to say, well, I'm glad that in 2024, because we still have a whole month to go. We're not thinking about 2025 yet as far as certain things. I'm so glad that in 2024, I started paying myself first. So we're going to dive into the subject right now. First of all, how to pay yourself first. Like, I mentioned a little bit, just like you do your bills, your phone bill, your light bill, whichever one, you do it automated, automatic for it to come out of your bank account when you get paid, right? Just like, let me give an example, your cell phone, every whatever date it is, mine is the 29th, right? So every 29th, the company takes the money of my cell phone bill. So you're going to now choose whichever date is best for you, right? For you to now automatically send that money to that specific account, whether if it's a savings or, if it's your emergency fund or if it's a retirement plan fund that you're building, right? That's one way. Very important. You have to have a specific amount. I always say a percentage is better than an amount, because if you make more money, your percentage is higher. But start small, 10, 20%. So let's say your income is $500 a week. What's 10% of that? $50. I always say that, I don't want to hear you saying you don't have money for that. $50 from your paycheck. If you make $500 a week or bi-weekly or whichever, $50. You could do it monthly. You do it one time, one paycheck, because a lot of people have one paycheck to pay the big bills, rent, mortgage, and then the other paycheck, if you get paid bi-weekly, it's for the small incidentals or whatever. Well, make your household, your savings or retirement plan or emergency fund to be a mandatory bill. So I know you understand what I'm saying, right? Another reason or another way of also doing it, it's maybe physically, but who does things physically nowadays? It's so easy and way better to do it automatically. Now let's go into the benefits, because thinking on how to do it is the least problem, right? But you gotta, or the least concern. You gotta have a reason why. What's the benefit? Why, Ellie Mae, why do I need to pay myself first? Well, first of all, it's gonna create a great habit that you're always going to have money aside for when you need it. If it's like I said, if it's your emergency fund, or if you're planning for your retirement, it could be for your children's education, or it could be 10 years from now, you want to buy a house. But unless you create that habit from now, that every pay period, every month, every week, you have that automatically coming. 10 years from now, when it's time to buy the house, you're not going to have the money or all the money that you need to do so, right? So that is one of the benefits. Another benefit is, very dear to my heart, you're growing that retirement account. Remember, we spoke about not having to depend on the government, nor on your family members, nor go back to work when you finish after your 40 years. But if you start from now, in your mid-30s, or whichever age you're at, when the time comes for retirement. Remember, retirement is not age, it's how much money you have to be able to sustain yourself. That's why some people at 70, they're still working. It's not because they're not old enough to retire, it's because they don't have the money to do so. Another benefit is that, or another important thing is that you have to start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not whenever. And again, the most important benefit is that you're creating that habit, and it will strengthen your finances. Because we don't want to have a weak foundation. We spoke about that already. You're building a home. You don't want to have, weak materials. The same thing with your financial home. You want it to have great habits and strengthen your financial home. And paying yourself first is one of the most important things. And don't throw the phone at me. I know most of us have our religious, because I don't want you to throw the phone at me, our religious commitments, right? We do. You know what I mean? So I'm not talking about that. That is an automatic. If I have to explain to you that goes first and then they come this, well, we're not getting along. What I'm saying is, after that, the first thing, most important, is yourself. Pay yourself first so that your future self, when you get there, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, if you in your 30s, you can look back and say, wow, I'm so glad in 2024 I made that commitment that put $50 aside on a weekly basis, or $20 aside on a weekly basis, or $100 aside on a monthly basis, whatever it is for you. Now, of course, we won't find out what it is for you unless you start doing the homework. You have to start doing your budget and contact me. This is the most important part. Contact me so that we could customize a plan for you, your roadmap to your retirement. It doesn't matter what your age. So we could do an analysis, a complementary analysis, so that you know what you have to do to start paying yourself first, but not so much what you have to do, but how much we'll be able to chop off the other things, because this is important. I understand that your light bill is important. I understand that your mortgage is important. All of those things are important, but most important is your actual finances to be able to take care of those other things. Because if your financial home is not straight, how are you going to pay the physical stuff? The cell phone, the this, the that, your rent, your car, your groceries, even your entertainment. If we don't start first with the foundation of this particular thing here, which is paying yourself first. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Looking forward to speaking to you next time here in Conversation with Ellie Mae. Bye for now.